Hey everyone, today I will be showing a new feature of Pipeline as Code that just got released yesterday. It's a feature that's simple. The use case is simple. It's being able to spin up a different GitHub application on the same cluster. So currently we only support one application. Currently on the previous release, before the release, but now currently we do support multiple GitHub applications. And one of the use cases that we found is that there's some people that wanted to run public GitHub and GitHub Enterprise together on the same cluster and wanted to be able to use Pack, handle both at the same time. So there was a way to do that with GitHub Webhooks, but obviously it's not the same support as GitHub Apps on Pack, and it's way better using GitHub Apps. So that's why we implemented that. So the way it works is that each controller would have a different GitHub application. So you're able to run like a second, third, or fourth controller, and you are going to be able to attach a GitHub secret into it. That GitHub secret would be the one will have the private key, the application ID, and all the information that you need for the GitHub apps. And you can attach as well its own config map, like a different config map, or you can use like the same between multiple controller. So that's the way it works. So you get multiple controllers having different GitHub apps with different endpoints. So each GitHub apps would point like to the controller, which would have like an OpenShift route or ingress into it, and then you send like GitHub sending the payload into the controller, and after that the watcher, which is the reconciler that would watch like when the pipeline is finished, would know where to go and to which GitHub apps they needs to report the status, and yeah, you'll get your pipeline running on each of them on each cluster, on the right cluster. Alright, so the way it works is like it's pretty simple. It's basically you need to add like a new controller into your deployment. The only difference that you're going to have is having those environment variable, controller label, controller secrets, and config map. So to be able to tell Pack how to find the secrets in the config map, and what is the label used into it. Yeah, there is no support currently for CLI or the operator, but hopefully this should come sooner rather than later. But currently we just like a simple script in the Pack repo, which I will show you, that would generate those controllers, those additional controllers. Alright, so let me show you how it works. So here's like I have a bunch of tails, log tails, to show you later how it works when running it. But currently I am going to show you what's the output. So you get like the script called second controller in the hack directory. You just put a label into it, and it's going to generate on the standard output like a new deployment, and with like the right labels and stuff. So I put like the name as controller. So that's all the change that they do. So that's the YAML that gets generated. It's going to add like as well the labels, the secrets that needs to be created. That's the inform, like this is the thing that you have like with the private key and application ID and things like that from that you get from GitHub. And you can specify like the config map. So it can be like a central config map, as I say, but you can further customize if you want, like for each controller. So yeah, the script is pretty simple. You just output that, and usually you keep that templates, and after you maybe want to customize it, or you can apply it directly on the cluster. There's a few options as well on the things, like you're able like to specify like OpenShift route if you're running OpenShift. You can spin up like a SME URL, SME image to be able, like if you don't have if you're on like any clusters, which is what I'm running right now, and I don't have access to the internet directly, And yeah, so you can customize things, and it's all documented here or in the documentation. All right, so I already apply all of that and configured my secrets and everything. So let's see what I have. If I look at the deployments, I have two different deployments: the GHE controller and the standard pipeline as called controller. So those are the two controller that's running, and each controller, like one is running on GHE on GitHub Enterprise, and one is running on public GitHub, like it's pointing to. So I'm using, so since I say like I'm using like a local kind cluster on my laptop here for development. So I'm using GhostMe to be able like to have GitHub or GitHub Enterprise access it. But you could use like just a route or something like that. Anyway, so yes, like things like as running. So let's see. I have a repo called Pack here, and I am going to generate that commit. So I already created a pull request in there, and let me see, yeah, and I'm going to push it and force it. So it's generate like a new commit basically, and I am able to start a pack. So what it would do, like that GHE would go to the second controller, which is actually the logs of here, and the watcher, which is here, is going to be able to report the status. So let me send this over, and here we go. Like it gets straight away in there. It's like he knows like it's GHE, and it's doing its things. And when it's finished, it's going to say like, oh, it's been finished, and it's going to update the status on the GHE cluster. So if I look at the GHE, where is that thing? It's called, yeah, that's it. If I look at my pull request and thing, why is locked? Okay, so yeah, well, I need to figure out like why it's been locked right now. But I think I'm not. Yeah, here we go. I'm not logged in with the right person. Okay, now like I need to figure out my password. Awesome. So sorry and bear with my. All right, so now here we go. And yeah, okay. So the pull request is here. All right. So sorry, like the thing is like it's pretty secure. And yep, it just finished and it gets reported, and yep, it just put like the thing that gets reported like to the right place. It's nothing 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 new here, but just that it works. Same goes like if I go like to my other repo, which point like on the same cluster, but that one is attached to public. Sorry, here we go, it's here, and this one is attached to GitHub, and if I do like a new push into it, so this one will go here, I guess, which is the public one. Here we go, it's coming, it gets the request, and now it's like the same watcher on the same cluster is going to resolve it, and it's actually a failure because I made it as a failure. I think that the pipeline is just exit one, yeah, so it means like it's a failure. But yeah, as I say, like if you look at the pull request in this case, like it properly reports as a failure, and it was all working. So yeah, so that's the demo. That's the gist of it. And yeah, we are looking for feedbacks, and we already have customers who are eager to use this. So hopefully it should get pretty stable soon. Thank you very much for listening, and let me know if you have any feedback.